Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all as fantastic as you are looking today, because you're looking fantastic. And it's Thursday. Fantastic Thursday. Does that work? Fantastic. Does F's and T's go together? Fantastic Thursday. I don't know. We'll allow it. We'll allow it. And what are we talking about? I've had time. Yesterday, I did the video on Ashlin Couch, who's come out and spoken about her close friends, close friends that sadly lost their lives in the tragedy that happened at 1122 King Road. No one's spoken for a while, but just as the prosecution's case descends into what can only be described as somewhat of a shit show, because it is somewhat of a shit show, because they are losing traction. The FBI have binned them off and said, no, we don't seem to want anything to do with this anymore. If you missed the video that I did yesterday, go check that out, about the FBI saying sort of, well, it seems that they've washed their hands of things, but who knows, things could change, but their case ain't looking good. It ain't looking good because they can't even provide the evidence from the PCA. And what I will say is a few people have reached out to me, reference a video that Jay Ombre said. Is it Jay Ombre? I can't remember. Pavarotti. And talking about the knife sheath situation, his boom with respect of that they were still searching for a knife sheath, apparently, when they apparently already had the knife sheath. That is something that I did a video on months and months and months ago. That is, good to him for bringing it out again, because it's clear that a lot of people didn't sort of get that or understand it or follow it. I don't know, but we covered that a long time ago. Yes, indeed. They were seemingly searching for a knife sheath for the murder weapon after they apparently had one. So, yeah, that is somewhat of a boom, but it's a resonation of a boom that already existed that people clearly didn't take any notice of. But what is going on with the Ashlin Couch situation? What can I say? This is going to come across as a little bit of a rant, which I know is unusual for me, but I've got to say it as it is. I find it quite bizarre that just when this entire process seems to be falling around at people's heads, you know what I mean? It's like it's coming apart at the seams, that they now want to hide stuff from the public, and the reality is they're trying to hide it from the public because it could be prejudicial to the state. That's what it is. And if people can't see that, then they're blind, because that's what it is. You can hide behind this, they're going to hide it from the public because they're going to discuss things that the public have no right to hear. But there are ways that you can get around that. There are ways that you can get around it. The overarching issue here is defense are still requesting stuff that is in the PCA. They're asking for the evidence to support the PCA. Why is my client here? You've written up a PCA, but you're yet to provide us with the evidence to prove what you've put in the PCA. And there's people who are turning around saying, look, the deadline for discovery is September, which I get that, but that's all discovery. There are still elements of this that should have been handed over already. There are still elements of this entire situation that should have been handed over months and months ago. And it's not. And then you've got, like I say, you've got this situation where they're now trying to close the doors on the public again and to do it behind closed doors. And again, I say it's because this hearing is going to raise concerns about the conduct of the prosecution team. And Anna's consistently sort of voiced prosecutorial misconduct. And if you look up prosecutorial misconduct and look into how this situation is seemingly playing out, you can absolutely understand why she's saying it. But I just find it very interesting that off the back end of these things happening, you've now got someone who is kind of a ground zero girl, if you like. She is someone who is going to make everyone's fucking hairs prick up. And lo and behold, we're going down the route of pushing this fucking stalker narrative again. We're pushing this. You've got to listen to the exact verbiage that's being used when they're talking about this this new foundation. And they're pushing that this entire situation happened because they were being stalked. Someone was watching them, and this happened. And look, the be all and end all is that could be the case, but there's no sort of, I don't think there's, how can I say, they're doing it, in my opinion, because the timing, to me, it's all about timing. We've just come out of the back end of them turning around saying Brian Koberger went stalking. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to push a narrative and supportive then that this couldn't have been Brian Koberger? Because the prosecution and defence have both equally stated that Brian Koberger went stalking these students. So if you're saying that this happened because they were being stalked, then it weren't Brian Koberger who did the crime. Or are you trying to reignite that mentality of these girls were stalked and trying to connect that back into the Brian Koberger narrative to get people believing that Brian Koberger was a stalker? But it's quite funny when they're talking about, the social media awareness, for instance, and all this. And I just find this entire angle disingenuous when you've got the likes of the Gonsalves family who believed that Kaylee was stalked, pushed that fucking hard in the paint that they were being stalked, yet they're still uploading their family and pictures and their life on social fucking media with 20 times, 30 times the followers that Kaylee ever had. More followers than the whole lot of them had together. So how can you say that there's social media awareness? They literally they're pushing Kaylee's younger sisters and stuff like that on there, and relatives who have got fucking awards in school and stuff like that. I just don't fucking get it. I don't get it. I genuinely don't. I find it disingenuous. No more disingenuous either than the fact that they're pushing, Kaylee's birthday on their social media page. Their page has always been about Kaylee Maddie, Kaylee Maddie, Kaylee Maddie. We've lost 2 fucking daughters and all this shit. But yet they fail to mention, and there may be reasons for it. I get it, because ultimately Maddie isn't their child. But Maddie's birthday is on the 25th of May. No mention of that. Just, I believe Kaylee's is the 8th of June, I think, something like that. So they're pushing that as Kaylee's Day. What about the fact that you're setting up these non-profit, aka non-fucking taxable businesses off the back end of Maddie's name, Kaylee and Maddie, Kaylee and Maddie, Kaylee and Maddie, yet you can't acknowledge that it's actually Maddie's fucking birthday on the 25th of May. And again, I'm sure there'll be some people who say ultimately that might be a little bit disrespectful to use that, but you're using her name against non-profit organisations, again, tax-free, tax-exempt, and all. There seems to be a lot of fucking not-for-profit tax sort of exempt businesses being set up all around this case. You've got the Chapins with tulips and fucking books, and you've got the university getting a $1 million bit of money to fucking help themselves through it. Then they're raising best part of $850,000 to fucking set up a memorial garden because of the Idaho 4 case, and then all of a sudden it's not going to be for the Idaho 4, it's going to be sort of a general thing. And now you've got this newest one, which is about social media fucking awareness and stuff. Just, when does it stop? And I know I've opened myself up to a kick and hair, because people will be like, "Yeah, but you're doing videos on the Idaho 4, you're getting paid." And I'm a content creator, and a supply and demand. If people want to keep watching videos on this case, and I'm going to keep doing videos to bring awareness to it, because it's such a fucking shit show, and there is so much shit going on around this case that people need to see it. They need to see it. They need to be aware of it. They need to be have their eyes opened to the lunacy that is of it. It's absolute insanity. And if people are genuinely blind to all the craziness of this case, then I can't help them. But I damn well am going to keep my focus on this case, and I'm going to see it through to the bitter end. Whether Brian Koberger is found innocent, whether he's found guilty, or should I say not guilty or guilty, his fucking life's done anyway. And I'm just going to keep showing everybody. I'm going to keep showing everyone and following it through to the end. because I just look at it and I just think, what the hell is going on? What on earth is going on? The more I see, there just seems to be more people involved who, at specific points in this case, they seem to be trying to steer the ship in certain directions. And during that, there seem to be certain people who benefit from it and certain people who get fucked by it. And all while the public are being sort of tracked like mushrooms. Do you know what I mean? Fed shit, kept in the dark and all that. But what do you think? What do you think of it all? Are these people... Don't get it. I just don't get it. The money around it, the businesses being set up around it, the secrecy, I don't know. But again, yeah, back to Jay Ormbury. Good work on Find the Sheaf, but like I say, we did talk about it absolutely months ago and did state that why would they be looking for a knife sheath for the weapon if they already had the knife sheath? It's a very, very good question. It's just a pity that a lot of people didn't seem to pick up on it the first time round. But anyway, you have yourselves a fantastic day. Video 2 is going to be later, which should have been yesterday. So I'm going to say the wrong date. I know. Shoot me. And later on, we're doing the live where I'm going to be having even more. I'm going to continue this rant and more. So be there, and I'll catch you all in the next one.